Thank you very much. I have been looking much forward to come here today. On my way over here, crossing the bridge, I said to myself, how should your presentation be today? Should I show you a lot of slides about revenue growth, share price, and how good we are, and picture of the board and everything? And I actually decided to do it a little bit different today. So I will probably just run very fast over some of the slides. When we IPO'd back in 2017, I traveled around Sweden and Denmark, convincing friends, family, business relations to purchase shares in OmniCar. Because I sincerely, as a founder, of course, thought this would be a great idea. But as things go, it turned out to be very difficult compared to our predictions. We were hit by COVID in 2019. We had to travel around, which we could not because we were under lockdown. We were not as lucky as you were in Sweden. You could actually go to hairdressers and you could travel around, but we had to stay indoor. So what we saw was the revenue was declining. And I said to myself, Klaus, you have been traveling around selling this great idea, and all you can see now is the share prices going down. What should you do? And then one night I was watching CNBC, and there was a guy called Ed Peterson who was being interviewed. Ed Peterson, he was heading a company called wrench.com. And he told the audience and the TV viewers about this very simple concept. He had equipped mobile vans as a mobile workshop, and then he drove around to American car owners making service and repairs in their driveway. So in that way, they didn't have to spend time bringing the car to the workshop. You all know the hassle in the morning, picking it up in the afternoon, maybe have to go through a rental car and all that. So basically, he turned that around, and it was during COVID-19. Everyone was bringing things to private households. You could get your meal kits, dentist, everybody was coming home. So I said, why not try to do that? But we had no money. We were absolutely without any money. Our market cap was going down the drain. So I was fortunate enough to meet a few Swedish investors who believed that this could have so much potential. So we got just a little bit of money, and we bought 2 mobile vans. And we employed mechanics. I don't know nothing about car maintenance or service or anything like that. And it turned out that customers were so excited about it. Within the first half year, we had the best customer ratings among all workshops in Denmark. Even Ferrari, Mercedes, workshop chains that have been existing for a very, very long time, no one could beat our customer satisfaction level. So I said to myself, this was really, really a smart move. So we added more vans and more vans and more vans. And today we have 15 vans driving around in Denmark. And very soon we will also be offering our service to Swedish customers. And today I'm so proud because we are talking a lot about crisis today. Pipeline blast, war, inflation, we can talk about crisis all the time, but crisis also means, in Chinese, opportunities. So we turned out this this crisis to an opportunity. And today we have 90 million in market cap. We are listed on Spotlight, and we have, as I said, 15 vans, and we have some extremely high potential. Because have in mind that alone in Denmark we have 3.2 million car owners, and they all need service. Nobody objects about the fact that it's much, much more convenient to have your car being serviced outside your main door. As I said before, the high customer rating, which I'm so proud of course, because to me, that's the most important thing. If you can prove that you have the highest customer satisfaction rating, we have over 2,000 reviews, where 1,980 of them are 5-star. That's not a coincidence. And if you can produce such a product, in my belief, you have something that could really, really develop into some big potential. Yeah, this is just a sketch of how much you have to go through bringing your car to service. It shows that it's around 120 minutes spent. And then because we came from the software industry, we thought, how could we make this even more efficient? So we developed geoplanning, automated and tailored quotation systems. Car owners just have to put in their license plate number, and then you could get completely tailored systems and prices. No other workshop chain in Europe can do that. We can. And as you can see, if you look at the van economy, we don't have the huge infrastructure. One van today has a net profit of 95,000 Swedish kronor monthly. But when we get even better, because we are not there today, this is also a learning curve for us, then we can make around 300,000 kronor on the van economy on a monthly basis. And the target we have is 75 vans through 2024. But we, in May, decided that we want to bring this even further, because people who has a need for service, they also have a need for a new car. So we launched our latest initiative where we want to sell electrical cars online, purely online. And we did that, of course, because everybody are basically swapping their petrol car to electrical car, and we had some very fine sourcing opportunities. And we were very, very fortunate that we didn't have enough cash to stock up cars. So we just stocked up like 20 cars. And meanwhile, what we are seeing in the industry is that car prices are crashing, but it doesn't affect us because we don't have a big stock of cars. So now we are in a situation where we can basically pick cars that are at other dealers and sell them with a great profit margin. And what we do more is that we just, because we have the service division and the ecosystem, every time we sell a car, we can make 65,000 Swedish kronor because we have all the surrounding margins on the car, charging infrastructure, finance. Just by financing a car, you can almost make the same as you can on the actual margin on the car. So we have this concept, full ownership, and the market is huge. Alone in Denmark, the service market is around 22 billion. And used car sale is almost 100 billion. So it's a huge, huge potential. And with this huge potential and the highest customer satisfaction in the industry, I think we stand a good chance going forward. This is absolutely not a guidance at all. I just want to say that because we have not yet published our third quarter. But look at the revenue growth we have had. And what we have said when we began this initiative with the 2 vans, we have basically said that next quarter we will make this, next quarter we will make that. And we have basically a very, very nice curve up to second quarter. And all I can say today is third quarter is definitely going to beat second quarter. So last slide from me. Today, more than 10,000 cars serviced. We have a great IT platform. Our customer acquisition costs are the lowest in the industry. Again, my proudest moment here is to be able to say that we have the highest customer ratings in the industry, covering whole of Denmark. And what we see is that we already have a lot of customers coming back to us, which is a great proof to me that they like our service. We have invested a lot of money in IT, and we will continue doing that because that will be one of our core differentiators, because we know so much about IT and marketing. So that concludes my presentation and my 9 minutes.
Time for some questions then.
Yeah, good.
You have Mekonomen as the biggest shareholder right now. Can you tell us a little about your cooperation?
Yes, when we sat there during the COVID time back in 2020 and talked about how we should move forward. I mean, how do you actually get spare parts? You know, coming out from outside the industry, how do you get spare parts? So what we did was we called Per Oskarsson, CEO of Mekonomen, and asked him, Per, can you help us? We are an ambitious company. We have 2 vans. I know that you are managing thousands of workshops, but we have 2 vans. Can you help us? And I said, what are you going to do? We're going to do a mobile service. And he said, that is interesting, because there is no doubt in his mind that mobile services will be a part of the future. It's just a question of how big a part it will be. So they supported us with a lot of know-how, and from the day one, they delivered spare parts to us 6 times a day, and providing us with all the needs we had. So that started the dialogue, and then last year we decided to invite them in as a shareholder.
The mobile car service, when can we expect that in more countries, and which country is first in line, do you think?
The first of line, as I said, is in Sweden, and then we will go after the demography. So we will try to be in cities that has a lot of cars, of course. So that will be first here in Malmö, then Stockholm, then Gothenburg, and then we'll probably move to Oslo or some of the Norwegian cities.
You have a few different business areas. Which one do you think can be the biggest one in, say, like 3 years in terms of sales?
In terms of sales, I think, of course, the revenues are higher on the car sales, but profit-wise, it will be equal. So, our target is to sell 10,000 cars in 2024, and have, like I said, 75 vans. So it will probably be more revenue to the car sales, but profit-wise, it will be the same.
Peter, do you have questions for Claes?
I have. Thank you for the presentation, Claes, and thank you, Albin. So during the second quarter of 2022, OmniCar grew sales by 383% year over year. And that's amazing, of course, but at the same time, operating costs increased more in absolute numbers during the same period. So what has primarily driven the increase in operating costs, and why have operating costs increased more than revenue?
Today we are around 30 people. 1 year ago, I think we were around 6 people, plus 2 mechanics. We had no CEO. We were only the CEO, which was me. So we were basically without any management team. A very, very slim organizations, because we had to save cost to be able to prove that this idea had some potential. So when we were very, very and absolutely certain that this could develop into something very, very big, we ramped up the organization, invested in IT, and that explains the cost.
So you have made investments that you won't need in the future, and thereby the margins probably will be better going forward.
Yes, we expect to be in black numbers during 2023.
All right, good answer. And Carvana is a peer to you that has been very successful with a similar concept in the US. However, they are providing a marketplace model for selling the cars. So I'm curious, why are you selling direct to consumer instead of running a marketplace business model like Carvana has done successfully in the US?
Well, first of all, I don't think and agree that Carvana is very successful right now. They are suffering with huge inventories and extremely big marketing spend, like Cazoo as well. What we do is that we focus more on the profit, and we also deliver the service, we deliver the financing, we deliver the charging infrastructure. We only sell electrical cars. So basically we provide the whole package, where Carvana, basically you walk over to a big vending machine, put in your credit card, pull the handle, and then your car comes out, and see you later. That's their business model.
So do you have any other better benchmark company or peer that you find more suitable than Carvana?
No, not for the time being, because I think what we do so well, and I think that is one of the reasons why we have so big momentum right now, is that we are the total car partner for car owners. We can provide everything they need. So when we, the car industry has worked the same way ever. If you ever have bought a car from a car vendor or had a leasing, car leasing, did you ever hear from them? Most people didn't. If you ever bring your car to the workshop, do you ever hear from them? Most people don't. But our systems ensure that we get back to the customers and provide them with all the services they need. And I think that's a big difference.
And thereby your great customer satisfaction,
exactly,
I guess.
Yeah.
So in Q2 2022, OmniCar reported its strongest growth number ever. However, the operating cost increased even more. which is a trend that we believe investors should follow closely. Furthermore, a little over a month ago, both the CEO and the chairman of the board bought more shares for a total sum of around 1 million SEK, which we think provides a strong statement for how the company is doing right now. Also worth mentioning is that the chairman owned a big stake in the company even before this transaction. We also like that OmniCar has a history of exceeding its own guidance in terms of revenue guidance. So in summary, we think the company is located in an exciting niche with very high potential, and we look forward to continue following your growth journey. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Give a round of applause for Klaus T. Hansen.
Thank you very much.